Hello and welcome to Sproink Dota presents Random Team Game. I am Nuff and I'm joined once more by Iggy.
Hello!
Hello, Iggy. Okay, so we've got a team. Oh dear. My Finnish friends are gonna. Ammattilaiset. Oh, my Finnish friends are gonna fucking hate me. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Ammattilaiset. Oh, bollocks to it. It's gonna be the Finns versus Mountainous Gaming, who are Norwegian. So it's a battle of the Scandinavian nations.
Semi-Scandinavian.
Technically,
Finno-Scandinavian.
Nordic nations, maybe? Does that count?
Oh,
Nordic nations between Norway and Finland. And okay, looking at the bans, Nature's Prophet, Wisp being banned out. Clearly been watching Alliance play.
It's worth noting that Mountainous Gaming have played 6 games so far and have lost every single one.
Hooray!
Ammattilaiset haven't played a game as far as I'm aware, so
well, you know,
could be an interesting game.
It just makes them, unknown quantity. We just don't know what they're capable of yet.
It might be fantastic.
They might be
amazing.
Shy. I mean, they're going for a Visage, so they've at least been watching Dota.
Yeah. But in fairness, we watch Dota and it doesn't make us good. In fact, it makes us the opposite.
Well, we don't pick Visage for a reason.
Because we don't like Visage, because he's boring.
Because we have no micro skills.
10 seconds.
Hey, no, we have micro skills. We just don't like Visage, honest.
We can only play heroes with stuns.
Hey, I play Enchantress, man. That's close enough.
Oh, I can play Enchantress.
Reserve time.
Badly.
I play Enchantress like a boss. You shut your face. I'm Sproink Dota, bitch.
Do you ever use your creeps?
Yes.
Siren.
Ooh, anti-fun Marga Siren has turned up with an Alchemist as well. So yeah, that's a tough-looking lineup to begin with from Mountainous Gaming. I imagine that Naga Siren's going to be acting as a support in this particular game, which allows her to do so much as long as you get the levels on her, because you know you can protect your Roshan, you can counter their Roshan. If you're getting completely wiped out in a team fight, you can just reset it, or failing that, you can just completely run away. You can initiate with it. It's great.
But like you say, she does need levels.
5 seconds remaining.
And you've basically just said Naga Siren is just an ultimate with that sentence, and I really disagree with that fact. I think she's an amazing hero all around.
I was not discrediting the rest of the hero. I was just saying the pros of her ultimate.
Everyone just focuses on her ult, and she's not just a walking ult. I mean,
she also
give
has
a little
snare.
credit to the rest of it.
10 seconds remaining.
And a Riptide, and illusions. Give her love, man.
No one cares about them.
Seconds
It's the
remaining.
snare. The reason why she's playing support is because she's the ensnare and the ultimate. That's why she's in the support role.
Interestingly enough, Darkseer picked up by Ammattilaiset. I'm imagining they're going to look at going an aggressive tri-lane with this Visage pickup, so we might look at a Lifestealer who's still in the pool. Picked up as a carry for them.
Still in the pool, but why would they be banning out the puck if they were going to do that? Surely they'd leave the puck in the pool for their own benefit.
That's true. Maybe they just don't like playing against puck.
Who likes playing against puck?
Sadists.
Remaining.
People with better silencers. They love
People
it.
who really like
5
punching
seconds
dragons.
But not real dragons, because they're big and scary. Punching little tiny dragons. Chen being banned out by them as well. We might as well talk about Mountainous Gaming's bans as well. Bat Rider, pretty standard. Nyx Assassin, not normally a early ban, but obviously he's a difficult little bugger to deal with if you're not playing particularly well. And then we have OD.
I want to focus on this Chen ban a little bit more.
10 seconds remaining.
I honestly think, well, I didn't see Mountainous Gaming picking up a Chen, because I mean,
5 seconds
with a
remaining.
Naga and an Alchemist and a Chen as a tri-lane, because I mean, we're going to see Alchemist carry a Naga support, or so we imagine. I really don't think that they would have gone for a jungler as their last hero pick in that tri-lane. I mean, they're already desperately struggling from range, and there's the Rubik instead.
Yeah, I was about to suggest Rubik might be a good pickup, but they already picked it before I got a chance to say anything, so now I look like I was just pretending all along. TA was also banned out by them. Really good ganky mid. One of your favourites.
Indeed. Well, she does just such phenomenal amounts of damage from that mid position, so kind of depressing that we're not going to get to see her.
Maybe we'll see something a little bit crazier coming out.
Yeah. It'd be nice to see Ammattilaiset decide to pick up... Ooh, Crystal Maiden. It'd be nice to see them decide to pick up a hero like a Sven. Combine up with that Darkseer.
Anyone with an AoE stun equals win with Darkseer's about. Alchemist, of course, is the more famous.
But he's already
hero,
been picked
but
up.
he's already
so-
picked up. So Sven is definitely an idea.
Indeed.
Also, he can benefit from Crystal Maiden's passive because he's quite mana hungry with his Storm Hammer out.
Indeed. A lot of the heroes from Ammattilaiset being
10
very
seconds
mana
remaining.
hungry here. I mean, we've got Ion Shell needing to be spammed out constantly, Surge to run out. Although Surge, that all said,
Dire team
isn't
destroyed.
a... Oh, it's possible to see Alchemist mid or offlane then?
Or possibly,
Maybe the Gyro.
it might be a Gyro mid.
Indeed.
But this is going to be some really good setup from Naga Siren. Naga Siren can come in with her song. Alchemist can prime his grenade, or his unstable connect blah 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 blah. And Gyrocopter, of course, has
10
cooldown,
seconds
which is
remaining.
the time to hit just as the ulti is finished off.
I think
that could
5
hurt.
one
seconds
thing
remaining.
above all of that, which is worth noticing, if the Rubik manages still... You don't want any of those spells,
Reserve time.
apart from the vacuum. Imagine stealing the vacuum with that unstable concoction.
Radiant team ban.
So yeah, that's the lifestealer I thought about. Oh yeah, calling shit like a boss.
To be fair, the Rubik can still vacuum, like you mentioned as well, which will be lovely.
I want to point out though, Ammattilaiset's tri-lane is looking... Well, they don't really have any
10
disables
seconds
outside of the
remaining.
Visage Familiars and the Frostbite from Crystal
Dire
Maiden.
team
They're
ban.
relying really heavily on their slows.
Well, slow them up, let Lifestealer hit them, when they think they're just about to move normal speed again, frostbite them out, let Lifestealer continue to eat them, and then of course you can just open wounds them if they're still alive by
10
then.
seconds
Of course,
remaining.
being able to do that with an entire tri-lane up against you is not going to be particularly easy. But picking a Lifestealer
Radiant
despite the
team
Naga
pick.
Siren, we know she's difficult to deal with him, because Ensnare of course stops him when he's busy being ragey, and then Song stops him when he isn't being ragey, so...
Indeed, you really do need to be careful. I think it was actually kind of a bad pick to decide to still go for the Lifestealer after the Naga Siren was on the table as a first pick, no less.
Although he can go reasonably early in the carry stakes,
10 seconds remaining.
Alchemist is ready to fight really early as well, and so is Gyrocopter. And Alchemist
5
can
seconds remaining.
outlast him and outfarm him in the late game. I mean, Gyrocopter's not
That-
going to be getting the same sort of farm he would expect. normally.
That said, it doesn't stop what Mountainous have being an incredibly greedy lineup so far. I mean, you're going to have two carries here fighting for the gold. And I mean, unless Alchemist kind of slips back into more of a second position role, I don't really see that either of them getting out of hand.
I reckon Alchemist is going to be in the one role unless he goes mid.
I would very much doubt that, to be honest. I mean, Alchemist generally seen as a bit more competent in the mid position, and now this is just...
Dire
I
team
think
pick.
Mountainous are being far too brave here. They have three extremely farm-dependent heroes, and well, still three agility heroes. But I mean, I think it's a little bit too brave from them.
Yeah, Weaver, although he can be
That's a good
relatively active early on, he doesn't really do a lot until he gets, you know, a nice bit of farm. He needs a couple of items really to get going. Gyrocopter, he's relatively useful early game due to his nuking, so he does alright without farm, but when it gets towards the late game, his nukes are going to be practically useless, and he's not going to have the farm, because let's be honest, Alchemist is going to be stealing majority of it. Although then, of course, Alchemist is going to be able to take over from the Gyrocopter, so if they can get the synergy like that correct, I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem.
I actually want to debate this here. If you're talking about the Alchemist slowly taking over from the Gyrocopter, with the
Prepare
Gyrocopter
for
taking
battle.
all of the early game farm, what you have to remember here is that Gyrocopter's got the early game, Lifestealer's got the late game, but all this while Alchemist's got the late game. All this while the Lifestealer, he's got all the farm in the world, and he will be able to take this Alchemist late game if they choose to give priority to the Gyro early on.
I think the Gyro, for me, is going mid, so he's going to get a relatively useful farm on mid soloing.
I honestly think there's far too much carry potential on Mountainous' side, and although all of their heroes are very, very good at the early game, and you've got the Naga Siren to counter the early aggression, you're coming up a tri-lane with a Lifestealer, a Visage, and a Crystal Maiden, so you're really going to need to play passively right up until Naga hits level 6.
Just enough time to make a cup of tea.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. Alchemist has got all the free farm, or he's going to try to get as much farm as he possibly can on his tri-lane. Although it does look like they're going to be running tri-lane against tri-lane, so we're contesting farm. In the meantime, Weaver going offline by the look of things. A Gyrocopter is going to be running in mid and rushing a bottle.
Indeed.
Queen of Pain unsurprisingly
Time to
going
get
mid
angry with each other.
for the Finnish team. And their offlane, of course, is Darkseer. Although he's on a safe lane, which isn't where he excels, because you know
Into
it's
the
much
Valley of
more
Death
fun
rode the 5
creep skipping.
idiots.
I actually do agree with this decision, though. I mean, you have the aggressive tri-lane coming out from Mountainous Gaming, and they want to shut down this Alchemist as hard as possible earlier on.
Yep.
I'm sorry, coming out from... Jesus Christ, I can't remember any of these names.
The Finns.
The Finns, yeah, that'll do.
The Finns. So, I think the place we're going to be wanting to watch the action is definitely going to be this tri-lane, where Alchemist and Lifestealer go toe-to-toe, trying to get as many last hits as possible. It looks like it might be going early on to the Crystal Maiden, but it's going to be a bunch of harass. They're going to exchange blows for now, but no one's going to die this early, I'd imagine.
Indeed.
Weaver's going to have not the greatest time up against the Darkseer, but again, probably going to do okay.
I actually think it's going to be very, very reasonable up against this Darkseer, because, I mean, he can sit just out of range of the Iron Shell. I mean, his range isn't fantastic, but he's not going to be taking the same harass which you'd normally see from people offlaning against the
looks like they're going to
bounty.
snare and drop it. A stun. Looks like Visage might be first blood here. Lifestealer wailing on the Alchemist. He goes
Great
down.
soul assumption.
Yep, it looks like the Lifestealer wants a little bit more. Going for the Rubik. TP coming back in though by the Alchemist. He's back. Frostbite on the Naga. Ensnare up on the Crystal Maiden. She wants to run away. She's not going to get away. She's going to get stunned up and killed by the Alchemist. Lift on the... Oh god, it's all happening! Acid spray down as well. Looks like Naga Siren's gone down to the Lifestealer. Lifestealer on the run now. And they're probably going to call it quits there, I reckon.
All things said, that was a very, very favourable trade for the Finns, I think. They picked off the Alchemist early on, and although he did get the first blood, he didn't get that much dying straight away afterwards.
No, pretty fair trade in the end.
Indeed. And the Lifestealer didn't die, so
No,
he's going to come out of this slightly on top.
Although his gold is behind the Alchemist at the minute.
It's not actually. He's 200 net worth ahead.
Frostbite up on the Alchemist. He throws a stun out and kills off Crystal Maiden really easily. Rubik's in trouble though, trying to body block with the Alchemist. Is it going to be enough? No, he rages up. That's one dead Rubik. Soul Assumption is up. Brave Chill goes out on the Alchemist. He might be in trouble here, trying to punch down the Visage. A lot of creeps doing a hell of a lot of damage. He might get him actually. Has no mana left for a stun though, and he's going to get just out. In comes Naga Siren. Ensnares up the poor Lifestealer, and he's dead now as well. A hell of a lot of aggression on this tri-lane right now.
Indeed.
Is it so favourable now for the tri-lane?
Not after giving up those 2 kills. I mean, you lost to Crystal Maiden for practically nothing. She was lingering around on the lane with only 200 HP, I think. So a wild charge Alchemist and just finished her off instantly. And same with the Lifestealer, he was just being a bit too aggressive. He should have got that Rubik kill and then just backed out. He didn't really need to press on and keep right-clicking the Alchemist.
He was hoping that with the Soul Assumption being built up that they could bring him down with the Visage as well, but it just didn't work.
Well, Visage was already dead. I mean, he kept going on that Alchemist far after when he needed to.
That's Lifestealers for you, bro. Love to brawl.
That said, the Mountainous Gaming supports, they're really, really happy to defend this Alchemist on lane, so they're not making the most of the jungle.
Oh, and they've ensnared poor little Crystal Maiden again. She's such an easy bait. Stun comes out, she's down. It also stunned the Lifestealer, who's in big trouble. He rages up, trying to kill off the Rubik, but he's not going to have enough damage. He's going to die himself. Soul Assumption comes out, does kill Rubik. Now looks like Lifestealer's in trouble though, getting brought down by the Alchemist. Ensnare up on Visage. Will he be able to get out? He should be okay. Yeah, oh no, the stun comes up. He came back for Brave Chill and he's a stun. They've now frostbited up the Naga Siren. She's backing out. Crystal Nova goes out as well, but she's going to survive. There's so much action going on in this bottom lane right now.
Indeed, indeed. I don't know, it really seems to be favouring Mountainous Gaming now, but they still really need to be careful because there's an awful lot of pressure coming up on the Finns.
The thing you want to think at the moment, the real good thing for the Norwegians is there's 5 kills on this Alchemist.
Indeed.
That's a huge amount. I mean, we're what, 4 minutes in and he's had constant fighting. He hasn't really been able to last hit very much. He's almost got as many kills as he has last hits. And he's got his
But-
phase boots up, so...
He's only 300 gold ahead of the Lifestealer, but the really big difference is that he's 2 levels ahead of him. Well, actually only 1 now, the Lifestealer's just dinged up, but... Alchemist level 6, well, Lifestealer, Visage and Crystal Maiden on 4, Lifestealer on 5.
Yeah, when he's got that ultimate up, he's tanky as hell.
Indeed.
I don't want to ever look away from this, but I'm going to have a little brief look at seeing how things are going on the other lanes. Queen of Pain and Gyrocopter exchanging. Gyro's got the head much better in the denies department, doing reasonably well, but he's not that much further ahead. Weaver, not having the greatest of times, but doing relatively well against the Darkseer. Darkseer's got absolutely no denies, so...
Interesting to see this Gyrocopter in mid, choosing to completely ignore the flat cannon and stat up homing missile instead.
It's pretty good to harass in mid with homing missile, actually, because they have to go, well, do I want to be stunned and in the range of a rocket barrage, or do I just want to back off the lane?
Indeed.
Oh, he's got
That
his
said,
stun up
it
again.
also really helps
Alchemist
from the
here.
gank.
Looks like Visage might be in trouble, but not before Nagasaran gets eaten up by Lifestealer. Actually, Visage ended up doing the kill. Alchemist just gets another kill on the Visage. Oh, huge ult miss by the Queen of Pain rotating. He's charging up a stun.
He's going to try and deny himself, I believe.
Oh, he's not going to have time. Does get killed in the end by Queen of Pain. A nice chunk of gold going towards her. She's going to need that.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But they managed to bring down Alchemist, which is really good for them. Lifestealer
Yo,
as
green
well,
dudes,
not
something
dying.
bad is
Not
happening.
getting the kill, but Visage managed to snatch a kill right before his death as well, which is handy.
This Lifestealer is worth pointing out. He's not going for the phase boost. He's not going for the race car build. He's going to go for a much more stable hard carry build.
Yeah, well, this is the only carry they've got, and there's 3 carries on the other team. He's going to have to carry pretty damn hard. We see, actually, I was talking about Gyrocopter with his bowl. He's actually bowl crowing with it. I was about to say, where is his bowl? But no, bowl crowing. All is good. Queen of Pain, meantime, got 1 charge left.
I do actually think this Lifestealer is now pulling ahead of the Alchemist. He's about 600 net worth ahead, and
Oh,
I think that's all due to the Alchemist only have a single level in Grill's Greed.
it is surprising that he decided to go that way, but there's been so much fighting on lane there, it makes sense.
Indeed.
Then again, Greed with Greed does apply to heroes, though. He's quite far behind on the last hits, this Alchemist as well, due to all the fight that's been going on. He hasn't really been concentrating that much.
That said, Lifestealer's been in just as many fights as the Alchemist has, and he's still been farming fine. 7 kill assists up on the, well, kill participations up on the Alchemist, and 6 up on the Lifestealer. So.
Poor little Rubik again, he's just eating him. The snare's going to save him. No, it's not, because Visage throws out their Soul Assumption. Oh, and Infest comes out, and they're going to have to back. Queen of Pain rotating again.
Could
Soul
be a very
Assumption.
dead Alchemist.
He's a very, very dead Alchemist. 1 right click away. He goes down to the Queen of Pain, getting the kill again. And now it's not looking great for the Norwegians anymore. The Finns are pulling ahead on this lane.
Green dude's top thing
Indeed. Well,
is about
it was
to get
very, very
knocked
nice to
over.
see the Queen of Pain, who was previously struggling in mid, now kind of pull it back. And it's also interesting to see this Gyro apparently eager to just
Dire's
sit in
middle
the
tower is under attack.
sit back and farm. Also, there's a DD down bot, and Queen of Pain's going to get it before the Gyro does.
He's not having any luck with these runes.
Indeed.
Missing bottom.
Bad dudes,
Yeah,
middle
Bad
tower.
Rider
Everyone,
just
go,
farming,
go.
whilst Queen of Pain roams out and picks off all these kills. So I think it's going to work out better for her in the long run.
Yeah, in the 3-on-3 exchange, it's very, very even, although it was kind of leaning towards the Norwegians in that fight so far. Since the Queen of Pain have been rotating, it's been very bad for them. Actually, might look to go on again. DD up on Queen of Pain.
Going to be an ult from the Queen
Oh,
of
it's going to be
Pain.
a very dead Rubik. He goes down. Scream manages to get Alchemist, and he stuns himself. He's running into the trees.
Is the
gets stunned
cooldown
by
from the
Visage.
Gyro?
Gyrocopter coming in, trying to do what he can. Rocket barrage comes out and down goes the Visage. He gets frostbite up though. He's going to go down too. Gyrocopter is dead. Alchemist chasing, looking for a kill. Got a stun up. Kills off Crystal Maiden, but now he's in real trouble, being killed off by the Queen of Pain again.
That
and
was a
down.
flat out suicide from the Naga and the Alchemist there. They really needed to back. I mean, Alchemist picked up a kill, but Naga went in to save him, and he died anyway.
Top
Just
tower is
Rubik
under
trying to
attack.
dodge the
Hey,
familiars.
you guys doing some great work. Forget about it.
Stunned up he goes. So yeah, this lane, heavily lost now. heavily lost. Even though Drycopter came in and they managed to pick off Visage, I think, again, and Crystal Maiden did go down. It doesn't matter because the Alchemist went down again. They killed the Alchemist and the Gyrocopter, more importantly.
And we're seeing this Lifestealer finishing up an armlet right now. He's about 7 gold away from purchasing the recipe.
Yeah, this Alchemist, all he's got is these phase boots.
Be interesting to see whether he's going to go for a true hard carry build or whether he's going to try and pick up the Shadow Blade earlier on.
If he was going for true hard carry, I'd imagine he would be buying your power treads rather than the phase boots. But I mean, it's a bit of preference, really.
That said, at this stage in the game, their lane's lost quite hard. I really don't think there's that much merit in going for a Shadow Blade. I mean, you might be able to pick off a support every now and then, but I really don't see that happening all too often.
Well, it really depends how quick on the trigger the lifesteal is with his rage. Because if you can get an initiation on him,
indeed.
Maybe
We also nearly have a mech finished on the Darks here, so he's going to be ready to fight very, very soon.
Meanwhile, supports of the Norwegian team have very little. Very little. Poor little
Nagasara and Rubik not even found that level 6s so far.
Poor little Rubik doesn't even have boots, bless him.
Bad dudes, middle tower.
That's why he's
Go,
becoming
now.
food for the Lifestealer right now. Screen, it looks like Gyrocopter's coming down because there has been a rotation from the Quap.
Dire's middle
She's
tower
actually
is under
remained down here an awful lot now.
Yeah.
They're just happy to just pick off kills here.
Here comes the
I
Gyro.
mean, it's a lot more beneficial than her farming.
Oh, here we go, another engagement. In comes a TP as well. Cooldown is going to hit Visage. And just Visage, actually. Snare up on the Lifestealer. He can't do anything while raged up. He's now trying to man up. Weaver's here. He infests in. And he infests back out. He's being right-clicked down to death, though. Big stun coming out from the Alchemist, finishing him off. The rotation of the Weaver really helping there. They lost no one. Managed to pick off Lifestealer and Visage.
Great turnaround by Mountainous Gaming. That said, Darkseer is going to take a tower from that rotation from the Weaver.
They're crossing the tower, got the Lifestealer and the Visage. Fair enough trade, I think.
It was a very reasonable trade. That said, they're still not going to be able to put pressure on this tower themselves, and they've lost the Weaver farming, they've lost the Gyro farming, picking up kills admittedly, but when that starts getting split over all of the 5 heroes Mountainous had down there, that's suddenly a lot less golden experience spreading around.
Picked up at about 12 minutes. It's still a viable option at this point. He had about 2 more minutes left on its lifespan of being worth picking up.
So yeah, definitely going for the much more hard carry build.
Yeah. This is good. He's just farming the jungle now. Lane's practically abandoned.
Well, Queen of Pain's sat down here permanently now. If this lane is completely abandoned,
in your bottom.
This is going to be really, really terrible actually, because this Queen of Pain's not going to find kills, the aggressive tri-lane's not going to find kills, and all of a sudden this advantage they've had in levels and gold is just going to slip away from them.
On the plus side, they are going to get a tier 1 tower, which is going to make farming down there a lot more difficult for the Alchemist.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Especially now they've snuck a little ward down
structures
here,
are
so they can
fortified.
keep an eye on whenever he's about.
I think that's more of a lane ward. I kind of disagree with that. I mean, they've obviously seen the Midas up on the Alchemist by this stage. They should maybe have gone for a ward up in the jungle instead, just to try and pin him down.
Now all rotating mid, so I imagine they're going to try to push down the tier 1 in mid as well. Can the Gyrocopter contest alone? Nope. Although he does have cooldown ready and flat cannon up.
That said, if he goes in to pop the cooldown, I kind of imagine some form of initiation coming out. Maybe a blink in with the infest, which we currently see up on the Queen of Pain.
Or
I mean,
possibly be looking to kill off Weaver. Oh, actually, no. I think.
this is.
Yep. In
There we go.
On the Gyrocopter.
Oh, slightly out of range of the infest there.
Not good. The scream comes out as well, but the one charge is keeping him alive. Fire at the rocket barrage. He doesn't want to die, but he doesn't have an option. He is down. Rubik's caught really out of position and brought down really quickly. Song of the Siren comes out. She needs to run away. These Visage birds, they do not give a shit about Song.
I actually want to point out something here, is that was actually an incredibly bad play from the Naga. I mean, Alchemist was getting out anyway. She TP'd in and basically half died and then popped her ult for no reason. I mean, she only saved herself, and in that case, why did she TP in?
Yeah, I guess in that it was the plan, but it just wasn't quick enough to save the Rubik. He just melted really quickly. He's not got any sustainability at the minute. I don't think he's even got a chance to pick up a bracer. I mean, he hasn't got boots yet, bless him. So
Indeed.
He's just food. 700 HP is just not enough to survive against that kind of damage they've got in this
That's
team.
at 700 HP is a reasonable chunk.
What, from the Soul Assumption nuke and Queen of Pain?
I'm not saying it's enough. I'm saying it's. I mean, you can see something like Crystal Maiden, who's managed to pick up an urn and boots, and even she's only on 720. So it's not in as bad as a position as I feel it could be.
Well, Crystal Maiden is just squishy as hell. You've seen how many times she's been picked up.
Indeed. I mean,
So. Oh dear, they've got
And
an
it's
snare
now-
up for Queen of Pain.
doesn't
Fall
have a
down
blink.
as well. She's gonna blink. Nope, not enough time. Dedicating a hell of a lot of nuke there to bring her down, but she is dead. They could push the tier 1 tower here and give themselves a little bit more map control back, though it is being defended by the Crystal Maiden and the Visage.
Indeed, Weaver's actually had to TP out because, I mean, every single time they rotate to try and stop a push, I mean, it was the Lifesteal in this case, but it's always Lifesteal or Darkseer. They'll just push out another lane on their own. They're perfectly happy to do that.
Yeah, we don't see a lot being built on the Gyrocopter in a minute. He has just boots.
Lifestealer is currently 1,000 gold away from building a Basher. So he's going to have an Armlet, a Basher, and Power Treads. I mean, this is not a situation you want to be facing up against this Lifestealer. You could point out that the Alchemist, okay, he's only 1,000 net worth behind, but you have to give credit that 2,000 of that gold is the Hand of Midas. And he's actually going for a Shadow Blade still.
Yep, it's still...
Even after picking up a Midas.
Well, it's that, or possibly going to be building a
Battle Fury?
which is another option. I don't see it. I think it's
You kind of imagine see the...
Got another infest up inside Queen of Pain as well. They're looking for
I don't think Shadow Blade is really the right choice right now. You've already decided to go Midas. You've already said, okay, I'm taking this game late. If you then decide
hit nothing, absolutely nothing. Blind cooldown, hit nothing.
I said it did dissuade the gank.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But yeah, going back to this Alchemist, if you've picked up a Midas, you said, okay, I'm going late game. If you pick up a Shadow Blade, you say, okay, I'm going early game. And so you're kind of left with this Alchemist who's not really sure what he wants to do, and I think that's a really big issue sometimes when you just have a hero who just doesn't know when they want to take the game.
I don't think that's necessarily true. The Shadow Blade is going to help him be able to find farm and then losing map control, because he can farm up. If he smells anything fishy, he can just Shadow Blade up and run away.
That is very true. Naga saying no fun in mid right now.
What for? There's no cooldown up yet. Mistimed there. Although they are going to fight this out. Alchemist, there's the cooldown. Down goes Visage in a second.
Raise TP out from Lifestealer.
Yep, he's safe from that gank. But he got one. Dedicated a hell of a lot to it. 2 ultimates. Naga Siren's ultimate. Huge cooldown.
A TP from Alchemist too, so that's time he's not farming.
No, we're going to push to tier 1 from this though. Only got to defend against the Crystal Maiden.
I imagine this tier 1 third is only on 300 HP. You've got the Naga illusions up, and you've got the Gyro there, so the crew wave's just going to mount.
They're going to slow it down as much as they possibly can.
And Gyro still decided to complete.
Oh, huge initiation!
Great
Scream comes out, doesn't actually hit anything, I don't think. Oh no, Weaver's in trouble. Alchemist has his stun up, looking for it. Blam! Hits the Queen of Pain. She just melts. He's going to have to back out against Darkseer though, he's a lot more tanky. So exchange Gyrocopter, Rubik, and Naga Siren for Queen of Pain.
Queen of Pain,
and a tower.
Top thing is about to get knocked over.
Yeah, but they're probably going to lose this mid tier 2 now. I mean, even if they don't lose it, I really see the Finns getting a decent chunk of damage out on it when the 10 seconds which they don't have the Rubik and they don't have the Gyrocopter.
Yeah, there's a distinct lack of damage items. I mean, other than the Shadow Blade that does give a little bit of damage, we're missing damage items. Well, this glorious Lifestealer is, like you said, he's got his bash already. And
Alchemist now electing to go for a BKB. So he's just stocking up on all of these support items, and he just can't fight early on.
He can still fight, and the BKB is going to allow him to just wade into the middle of them without any replies from any of their nukes. No slows are going to happen, Frostbite isn't going to stop him, Queen of Pain can't nuke him, he can't take any damage from the Darkseer as well. The only problem he has to worry about is going to be Lifestealer, and with Lifestealer with a Basher, he can't man up against him, so it's going to be difficult for him even with the BKB.
I mean, And all that well and said is that even with all these items, I mean, the biggest damage item, like you said earlier, he has it's a Shadow Blade, and I mean, I really don't feel like he's going to be contributing that much with his right clicks. I'm pretty sure he's just a walking stun at the moment.
Meanwhile, in Happy Land, Roshan gets eaten with a double damage life stealer. That was a lovely find for them. And infesting up in Queen of Pain, they're going to look for something to kill.
I know the Alchemist around here somewhere, but
Alchemist is going to TP out, it'll be just fine. They're looking for something to kill.
interesting to see that the Finnish support's still not choosing to pick up Dust. I would really recommend it. If they want to take out this Alchemist, who's showing that he's going as late as he possibly can, they really need to dust him and just finish him off so he can't just sit here and... He's just farming every single lane at the moment.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Shadow Blade's all about.
Bad dude's top
Giving
tower
him
gonna
finding
fall
room.
over soon.
That's why it makes him useful at farming. TP coming in, it's going to be a bad TP though, double stun, manages to melt Queen of Pain, although now here comes Life Stealer. He does get ensnared up though, the nukes aren't going to be enough. Naga Siren going to throw out the anti-fun, not fun for you, no fun, no kills for you. We're going to back out and we're going to be just fine.
I don't know, we might see kills if this Darkseer can get a Surge up on the Lifestealer.
Weaver needs to Sakushi.
Surge into open wounds is a fantastic form of initiation.
It's not going to be enough. No, they're going to give up on the chase. So, yep, anti-fun Naga Siren singing does stop them losing the Alchemist, who I think he got bashed up.
Indeed.
Oh, he's going to initiate now, though. He wants to kill this Lifestealer, and they need it. Bash,
They
bash,
really do need to
bash,
bring him down.
ensnare, nuke. They've got the Aegis down, but they have to deal with a Lifestealer again.
He's just going to rage TP though. Oh, he doesn't have his TP scroll.
Oh, he's manning up against...
He's just going to man up and eat the Alchemist.
Can't do enough damage. Naga Siren's going to go down, surely.
Guys, middle tower.
Down she goes, the Darkseer. Oh, an Alchemist is in bad shape. He's ticking down. He's ticking down to death. Although Gyrocopter, Rocket Barrage has been slowed enough. He can't catch up.
Visage Familiars pick him off.
Oh, and in the meantime, Visage being picked off by the Weaver pursuing. In comes Queen of Pain though with the nukes. Oh, huge nuke. Single target. Rubik's going to try to TP out. He ain't going to get out of that.
Oh, you can't do that against a Visage. Those Familiars stunned him instantly, and even if he hadn't been stunned by those Familiars, I'm pretty sure Lifestealer's bashes could have eaten through him.
I think that just the damage would have killed him, man. There's so much damage coming out. Gyrocopter the only survivor in that fight, so it went well for them, but they got greedy and stayed in there. They should have popped the Aegis and got the hell out of there. Pull down coming down. Does a little bit of damage, but they don't seem to give much of a shit.
It's worth noting that this Alchemist is now 2k gold up ahead of this Lifestealer.
But where's his items? You can see he can't man up against him. After they ensnared him and stunned him, and then he could kill him. But as soon as the Lifestealer was on level playing field, he just smashed the shit out of the Alchemist.
Indeed. Interesting to see the Queen of Pain go for the Orchid, so transitioning into more of a semi-carry role than the typical kind of... Because I kind of imagine to see a Sheep stick up against this many carries. I mean, you have an Alchemist, a Gyro, and a Weaver, all of which you don't want them right-clicking you, so...
Well, I think the Darkseer is going to eventually work towards the pipe of
Invis Rune Quap, silence up on the Weaver, can't time lapse, can't Chikuchi.
Looks like they're going to lose Rubik as well. Lifestealer's going to dive in past this tier 2. No, he's actually going to be alright. Gyrocopter, he's got his BKB up, trying to do as much damage as possible. Oh, open wounds on Rubik. In comes the Gyrocopter to save the day. They're going to lose this Lifestealer, definitely. Goes down to the Gyrocopter. And that's a really good pick off, actually. Really needed that.
Also killed the Visage off, so...
Yep, you got the Visage as well. Trading the Weaver and the Rubik for the Lifestealer and the Visage.
See, the thing is, that even killing off the Weaver, I mean, you have more carries. You don't... Weaver doesn't necessarily need to be alive constantly.
Weaver's job, I think, in this format is going to be mostly to pick off those supports, chase them down if they're trying to back out and kill them.
BKB finished on Alchemist now, so...
It looks like Gyro is going to stack this camp right here. Is he going to stack it so he can take it himself, or are they going to leave it for the Alchemist? I imagine Alchemist has got that down.
That said, he doesn't have any form of cleave, so he's actually really going to struggle to take that camp. It'd make a lot more sense for the Gyro to just nuke it down with his flag cannon.
Yeah, it looks like Alchemist is happy farming regular camps.
Indeed. Without Battle Fury or a Maelstrom, it just doesn't have the AoE to deal with them.
Bad dude's top tower gonna fall over soon.
In the
What are we
meantime,
gonna?
look at this. Weaver pushing down tier 1.
Dire structures
Oh,
are
not
fortified.
quite. They're going to be able to deny it. The Weaver's sticking around. He wants it.
That dude's top
Good
is all
destroy.
nasty and
He gets
brokey.
it. And Zakushi's happily away.
It's interesting to think. What do you think this alchemist next item's going to be now?
I don't know. The damage is pretty important, but because he has other damage coming out of his team, I might risk going for a basher straight up, so I can just hopefully get a bash on the lifestealer.
I think a basher is the absolute must-have right at the moment. Because I mean, you need to keep down that lifestealer, and at the minute he can just bash you ahead of him, of you bashing him. So
The other option, of course, is to go for more damage straight up, like an MKB, but it's a bit early for
Dire's
an
bottom
MKB build, I
tower is under
reckon.
attack.
I don't think MKB would
Radiant's
be the
top
right choice at the
tower is
minute.
under attack.
As it is, I feel like this alchemist is playing from behind. He might be 5,000 gold ahead, but
Green dude's top
his item
king
build to
is about
me
to get knocked
really
over.
didn't want to fight early, and he really does have to just build up these big items for the late game.
It's global ensnare. A global rocket, too.
Oh, global skills, how we love you.
Follow this little rocket and see where it goes. Annoyed the creep cam.
I think it's worth noting right now is that I haven't actually seen Rubik steal a spell as of yet.
He stole Visage Birds earlier, actually, I saw, which was quite funny. He helped them push down the
Oh, did
tier
he?
1 mid. Oh no, they found the Alchemist. He's trying to TP out. Oh, they're going to get the bash. Nope, TP's out. He's going to be just fine. Oh, he's lucky.
Kind of unlucky there not to get the bash.
Oh, you know, what happens when you go with percentage items? You don't know.
Yeah,
So
true.
I don't know what he's going to build next. The Lifesteal, I'm possibly thinking straight Abyssal Blade.
That said, I mean,
Oh,
all
there's
things
the basher up on the Alchemist.
all things said and done is that he TP'd away, but he had to use a 10-second BKB charge to do that. And I mean, you really don't want to be using your biggest BKB charges just to escape a gank like that.
Yo, green
Also don't
dudes,
wanna be dying,
something
though,
bad
so-
is happening.
Yeah, true.
Oh, it looks like something's happening in the jungle. Darkseer having to run away from a Weaver.
Dire's top tower is under
Gyrocopter's
attack.
pushing.
Good dude's bottom just fell off.
We get a stun up on this poor Darkseer behind his tier 2. And then comes the Quap and that horrible Lifestealer just claiming Gyrocopter's head in a couple of cleaves.
So mean, that little life stealer.
He is. He's a meanie.
I think one thing which is worth noting, they're actually saving on TP scrolls by
middle
giving the
tower,
TP
everyone
to
go,
Queen of
go.
Pain and then infesting the Lifestealer up. It's really, really economic to see them save TPs, save 135 gold in that manner.
Yep, that can be put into better stuff. Rubik finally finding himself some mana boots. That's going to be really useful for him. Lifestealer sitting on 3,000 gold. Is he thinking Abyssal Blade?
Interesting
Oh,
with Naga
Hyperstone.
Siren is that despite their team consisting of 3 carries, still going for a Diffusal Blade.
That would not be my pick. I would be right now. She could have bought
A mechanism.
Mechanism would have been
she
useful.
could have finished a mechanism with the amount of gold she spent on her Diffusal
I
so
think
far.
that's going to be Rubik's role. But even so, I'm thinking that Heaven's Halberd would have been the gone-to item at the moment. If you could disable the Lifestealer in a team fight with your BKBs up, they can't do anything to you.
That said, I mean, you can claim it being Rubik's role, but he's just picked up mana boots.
Yeah.
It's going to be 45, 50 minutes before he can find the gold from mechanism, and by that stage, I mean, that's the mechanism heal is the equivalent of 1 right click from any of these carries. And
Oh dear. Engagement, pick off, taking down the Noxarum while I was watching some farming.
so, at least they're going to get to have fun in this. What I assume is going to be a push down mid now. I'm going to take this tier 2 while Alchemist just happily free farms.
We throws out the bugs though just to keep them busy for a little bit longer. Going in pain searching for the Weaver, but he
Dire's
is long
bottom
gone.
tower is under attack.
Gyrocopter on the other hand might get dived here. He has to be very
Dire's
careful.
bottom tower has
Indeed.
Going in pain, coming in. Throws out slow. BKB's up though. He's going to be just fine. A lift
Good spell steal from Rubik
Doesn't
there.
matter though, he's just going to melt in the face of Lifestealer. And there goes the tier 2.
Guys. Middle tower
That's
down.
it. Alchemist is pressuring the tier 3 right now.
Yeah, he's going for bloody racks. Let him go.
Structures are fortified.
Fair trade.
I think
Half the tier 2, tier 3 almost.
he did take down the tier 2 as well. He's pushed all the way up.
And he's going to TP out though. So playing split push Dota with Alchemist and not actually Alchemist and Weaver.
Indeed.
So yeah, they know they can't take the team fights at the minute. They don't have the mechanism like you mentioned already. They don't have that great a team fight at the minute.
Indeed.
But the split push, they definitely have that. If they keep denying this team fight to the Finns, they might actually bring a win out of this.
That said, all the split push in the world, I mean, if Weaver's pushing one lane and Alchemist is pushing another, and all 5 of the Finns decide to just push down mid and go for the racks, they're going to kill racks faster than the Weaver and the Alki are. And they will just push for throne, and that's going to force them back at the end of the day.
You say that, but you've forgotten one little ultimate that can really delay your push, and that is Nagasiren's Song.
That said, they've picked her off before, so...
Speaking of being picked off, down goes Visage.
Gyrocopter.
Yes.
You're really not good at these flying heroes. They're all the one and the same to you, aren't they?
Yeah. Visage killed Gyrocopter. I got it around the wrong way.
Indeed. I think this Lifestealer wants to do Roche right now, but... I think his team desperately wants him to do Roche, but he's just having to just push out this wave, and Weaver's just looking on nervously, because there's no way this Weaver can go in and try and harass this Lifestealer and get farm there.
No, nothing's going to be able to deal with this Lifestealer. He's trying to get as much farm as possible so he can get his next item. He's got Hyperstone, so he attacks. Lovely.
There's going to be an Assault Curious next for him as well, and he's actually finished it up with the gold he has, so...
Just throw some dust out, just in case. Weaver's long going low.
Indeed. Mainly just throwing it out so we can get some TP spots to fill up his inventory.
They're tier 3 against another creep wave.
So yeah, AC up on Lifestealer.
In the meanwhile, we see Alchemist with an Abyssal Blade.
Indeed. I don't think Abyssal Blade was the right... I don't know. Abyssal Blade is a fantastic item, don't get me wrong, but... And it's going to give him a lot more damage.
It's got a stun that goes through BKB.
Yeah, true. And Rage.
Yeah, exactly. Rage is a BKB, so if he can stun up him, keep his attack speed up with his BKB up so he can't be harassed, he can keep that Lifestealer chain locked and he might be able to bring him down.
Indeed.
Especially if there's focus from the rest of his team as well with Gyrocopter, and the Weaver's right clicks aren't doing a huge amount, but they're going to help.
That said, if he's fighting on the back foot and he gets initiated on and he's on half health before he manages to pop his BKB, I don't see him being able to turn around and do the same thing to the Lifestealer.
It's true.
I mean, he is very, very fragile for an Alchemist right now.
A bit of a glass as far as Alchemists go, but being an Alchemist is far from being a weak hero.
Wait,
Indeed.
Dyer did Roche.
And down Roshan goes for the second time. Dyer picking it up, using that Dyer advantage, and now they're smoking up. And now they're invested, and they're looking
All things said, I mean, Alchemist isn't that squishy. He's still an Alchemist at the end of the day. Still gets bonus 750 health, but I actually think he doesn't want to be tanky. He doesn't want to go for a heart at this stage because he doesn't want Lifestealer getting that bonus damage from Feast.
He got Lifestealer and Alchemist. He's just clicking down Queen of Pain. He stuns up. Oh no, but the Naga Siren Song. No! No, Naga!
Song!
Oh! Just in time.
Song to defend herself against an Alchemist who
Meantime,
just
Alchemist
against
going
a
down to
Lifestealer
Crystal
who's
Maiden's
raged.
ultimate. They've just lost Gyrocopter as well. Buyback from the Alchemist.
I think what went wrong right there was that Alchemist fought inside a wall, and there were clones of him everywhere, and they would. If he has 250 damage, the Darkseer clones have probably about 220 damage at
Alchemist
the
is going
moment.
to pick off this poor little Crystal Maiden. That's what you get if you kill an
Radiant's middle
ogre.
tower is under attack.
Indeed.
I think it was a misplay by Naga Siren, in my opinion. The stun had just come up on Lifestealer.
Indeed. I'm genuinely surprised she managed to survive that. I really don't think she had any right to. She's kept diffusing him to slow him down, but he was raged up and she popped a single target song, and it doesn't matter if he's raged, he's just going to keep going.
He'd been stunned up by the Alchemist of Bristleblade, and that was what I thought was going to happen. I thought, oh well, she just needs to ensnare him now. All is good. I don't know if she'd already pre-used ensnare. I didn't check. She might have already used it, which is why the song was coming out in desperation. Oh dear, we have a DC for the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, with a lifestealer sat inside her.
That would suck. Back to the fountain we go.
That would actually really suck, wouldn't it? Just like, don't take me to the fountain, Quap.
No.
Asshole. So, who do you think's on top right now?
Well, that last team fight really did go in the favour of the Finns. They brought down Alchemist. They brought down Gyrocopter.
I think their team is much stronger in the team fight right now, and Alchemist is very fed at the moment, but Mountain in total are only about 3,000 gold ahead, and part of that is due to just completely underfarmed Rubik. I mean, 800 gold up on him. I mean, there's no point with him starting to build a mechanism now. What he really needs to build right now is a bit of survivability for himself. And I mean, on the contrary to that, you see someone like Darkseer, who has picked up a mechanism, a pipe, arcane boots, and a soul ring, and is halfway towards an Aghanims. So he's been doing fantastically well. I mean, he's picked up more farm than the Weaver has, so...
Well, when you're on top, you're on top.
That's the kind of... That's what you want to see from a decent Darkseer supporting you, because with that pipe up in the fights, I mean, that's blocking a huge amount of the damage coming out from the cooldown.
It also leaves open more support items to be picked up by your supports. You can have the medallions being picked up to do Roshan like Visage has.
Indeed, Crystal Main went for the Urn of Shadows instead.
Yeah, exactly, because that mechanism's already been rushed out by the Darkseer.
Indeed. It's the fantastic thing about having a Darkseer. And we're actually seeing the Visage going to a Shiva's Guard now. It's about 2,000 gold away from it.
So much farm he's got as well. I'd be inclined, possibly, as the Alchemist, to consider a Blade Mail. If he's going to man up again this lifesteal, he needs some kind of advantage. Not allowing the lifesteal to right-click you for that period of time, or if he does right-click you, pay for it. Might be good.
Very true. That said, it's filling up very vital item slots. And outside of that bonus, I mean, if you do that to the lifestealer, he's just going to go, I'll go chew on Naga Siren. I'll go eat Weaver instead.
You say that, but will he be so willing to do that if he's being smacked in the face by a really pissed off ogre?
That's very true, but this lifesteal has shown very good decisions in team fights. I mean, every single time this Alchemist has come onto him, he's just gonna, I'll go eat Naga instead. And he's left the rest of his team, he's left the Darkseer to control the Alchemist with the vacuum instead. So...
yeah, he doesn't want to fight the Alchemist straight up, not until he's eaten all of his support off first.
Indeed. He was happy to fight him straight up, though, when he had a basher and the Alchemist didn't.
Yeah. Things are a little bit more different now. A lot more damage coming out from the Alchemist, so he's a bit more scary.
Indeed.
When the Bash War comes out, there's going to be only one winner.
I don't know. I mean, they're on pretty similar attack speeds at the moment. I mean, Lifesteal's on 0.71, but when the Armlet gets popped, that goes down to about 0.5, and Alchemist's on 0.52, so...
just whoever gets to initiate better, really.
Indeed, and I do see a lot more initiation on the side of the Finns. I mean, you've got the Naga Song initiation, but then you don't have the Naga Song initiation escape if everything goes tits up.
They're on the Norwegian team, but that's good.
What?
The Finns are the ones with the lifestealer, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I was saying they had the better initiation. And then...
talked about Naga, confused me.
Yeah, I said the only initiation that Mountain had was the Naga.
No, they don't. They have an invisible ogre with a stun.
That's true, but he's going to be dropping that Shadow Blade very soon.
I'm surprised there isn't a gem up on the Visage or something by now.
That's actually very surprised me as well. They have nothing to lose. They'll get counter-warded a little bit, but to counter the Weaver and the Alchemist, I think it'd be a very wise choice. BKB up on Queen of Pain.
Ready to juke it out. Although she hasn't been nuked down, that's not the real problem. It's been the Alchemist has just soloed her out and just smashed her repeatedly.
Indeed. Oh, So he's going the Weaver now. Silence doesn't like a siren.
No scream for you, darling. He's gone down. Cooldown manages to hit a BKB up Lifestealer. Oh, look at poor little Alchemist. He's gone down. Steel. Actually stolen Rage. He rages up to protect himself from any nukes.
Good banking by the Darkseer there.
Can't do any damage to the Lifestealer. They managed to pick off Gyrocopter as well. Queen of Pain almost dying, but she's going to be okay. Soul Assumption comes out on Weaver, but he's going to be fine. Buyback from Gyrocopter. They need to defend this. Out comes the Glyph as well. Oh dear.
Weaver
Instant death for the Weaver. He buys back too. Gyrocopter's flat cannon trying to do all it can to keep them off the racks. They're going to lose the tier 3.
Drops to the tower there.
Middle tower has fallen.
Tower shot following them all the way out.
They're lifting it up.
Lifestealer's getting very low now.
Can they kill him off though? He's raging up. He's just eating Weaver, managing to time lapse.
There's the song, but he's raged up.
He doesn't care. He's going to eat her as well. Out comes the rocket barrage. It's not enough. He will not die. Weaver backing out as well. He's refusing to die as well. Lifestealer rage. Oh no, he's opened wound. This poor Rubik instantly dies in 2 hits. Rax could be in trouble here. Weaver's being murdered in the meantime, only just escaping to his own fountain, being forced back by Visage and his birds, and there goes the Rax. It's looking really badly for the Norwegians now.
This is what I was talking about. Without the initiation and the counter initiation coming out from the Naga Siren, I mean, Lifestealer can just wander up into the base and they can kill a tower so goddamn quickly.
The thing I was more concerned with is the fact that they fought that entire fight without the Alchemist, the guy with all the damage.
Yeah, he got picked off right at the very start, and you're left on an underfarmed, an underfarmed Gyrocopter left to defend is your only real right click.
Yeah, he tried his best, but he's no match for that Lifestealer. Oh
Indeed.
no, Aghanims up on Darkseer now. They're going to have to be really careful if he gets anyone through that wall, especially
140% damage on those illusions.
Especially if the Alchemist, he might just single target the Alchemist purely for it because it's going to be massive.
It's more powerful than the Alchemist. That's how damn good it is. And I mean, you very rarely see the Darkseer actually get to the stage where he finishes up an Aghanims.
Oh, he's got what he wants. He's got mechanism. He's got the pipe.
Indeed.
What more does he need to pick up for his team? The rest is going to be picked up by the supports.
Well, you'd normally see a Shiva's Guard come up, but that's coming up from the Visage this game, so...
Exactly.
And Visage is actually picking up an eye now, so... Following our advice.
Have he heard us?
Indeed.
Naga trying to farm up the Fusel Blade. Still, I think it was a weak choice of a weapon to pick up. It's a carry weapon, man.
Indeed.
Not what she needs.
That said, I actually think the BKB was kind of out of place on Queen of Pain as well. I think that money would have been much better spent building up and towards a Scythe of Vice and really shutting down the Alchemist, because once his BKB's over, if you can Scythe him, Lifestealer is just gonna laugh. Also, Visage about 500 gold from finishing up the Shivas now, so... I mean, that's what we'd normally see the Darkseer build if he hadn't gone Aghanims, and you'd normally see the Visage go Aghanims, so...
I think the wall's a little bit more better in the team fight.
Green Dude's top thing is about to get knocked over.
Yeah, true.
They're going to lose tier 2 top as well with this
top
push.
tower has fallen.
There's nothing they can do to contest it either. No one's in position.
Alchemist is miles away. I mean, he's either going to have to TP back or just keep split pushing, and I mean, I think he's going to have to come back.
He has a scroll, he can do it.
That's technology.
No, he's just getting his sock harass, and now he's coming back. But he doesn't even need to now. They're defended.
Indeed.
Oh, there goes the Alchemist looking for something. Nothing. Queen of Pain infested with the Lifestealer again.
I think a wiser choice by the Alchemist would have been just to keep pushing. Force some TPs back.
Yeah.
I think it would have relieved a lot of the pressure on his team, because right now his entire team's caught here in a stalemate, just facing off across the river.
The thing is, they can't defend without the Alchemist. We saw that when the Alchemist went down in the last team fight, so... It would have been a rat to a rat.
I don't know, they still have the Song of the Siren up, and they still have the cooldown up on the Gyro, so...
They now have a Weaver with a Desolate.
Indeed.
So
he should definitely be filling the split push role now instead of the Alchemist.
It's not over for them.
No, definitely
it's
not.
Tough. It's going to be tough. But when you have 3 carries and the later the game goes on, they get some more items. Queen of Pain blinks it. Oh, the stun comes out. It's not going to be enough. But look at Queen of Pain. She just melted the Gyrocopter. Oh, out comes the
Lifestealer getting
Alchemist.
eaten by the Alchemist.
Huge wall though! Getting killed by himself! Oh, the Nagasaren
Cancelled.
song!
Oh.
It's not going to be enough. They're going to lose the Alchemist again. Does he have buyback?
Radiant's top
No,
tower
he has no
is
buyback.
They're
They're going to lose
That's a 2-5.
Rubik as well. They've lost Gyrocopter. They're going to lose Weaver. Yeah, he's down as well. All they've got is a Nagasaren with no ulti. This is going to be top racked really easily.
This might be GG. There is no way. I mean, at this stage in the game, the last thing you want to do is be without buyback on your main carry. I mean, you should have just delayed the Assault Curious. I mean, what would have been so hard about that?
Using the fake Alchemist to do as much damage to this base as possible. They're going straight for the tier 4.
Radiant's middle
Tier 4s.
tower
They're
is
going to go
under
for the
attack.
throne.
Guys.
Lifestealer's
you
just
need to
TP'd back to
defend
Fountain
here.
just to heal up. He'll TP back out in a second, and then all hell's broken
They
loose.
should save his
See this
guard.
Tifa.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Comes out for illusions. Can they do a lot? Nope.
You see the
has
Rubik back?
stolen Iron Shell. Well, that's useful if he was someone to put it on.
Gyro is back in 2 seconds, but I don't see them defending without both the Weaver and the
Yo, good guys.
Alchemist
Middle
here.
tower's
First tier
on
4 is
What you
down.
gonna do?
Gyrocopter
Get mad or
comes
get
out.
even?
He's going to right click down some of these creeps, but wow.
Things just got very, very hard for the Norwegians right now.
Yeah. It's possible to make a comeback from this, but it requires them to wipe a team. And I'd just be
Probably-
inclined to just go Hell Alchemist, Hell Weaver. If you can get the farm, go to travel, man. And
Indeed,
we'll
just
work
split
from that.
push. Just force them back by taking their own towers. I mean, we're gonna see Lifestealer pick up an Aegis very, very soon now.
Well, there's going to be a push from the Norwegians. Oh no, they're just going to. No, they're going to back off. Farm some ancients.
Abyssal finished up on Lifestealer, and unlike the Alchemist, he's saving for the buyback. He made sure he was 2k gold ahead of it before he decided to buy it. So I've actually silenced Roshan with the Orchid from Quap.
Hey, someone check Roche. Maybe they check
Cheese.
Roche. Wait, Dyer did
Ooh,
Roche.
who's gonna get the cheese? Probably the Queen of Pain, I'd imagine. There we go.
She really needs it.
The
Every
bottom.
team fight, she just disappears.
Indeed. She's just
Bandits,
too
middle
fragile.
tower,
I mean,
everyone, go,
she pops a
go.
BKB, but she just gets right clicked. There's far too much of it on their team.
Yeah, it was a Gyrocopter's right click that did it this time.
I mean, what would you like to see them pick up to kind of mitigate the amount of right click coming out? I mean, I really think
I'll just buy
White Choice Queen of Pain was the side.
invasion. Some kind of invasion would have been. The invasion towers would have been a bit. Hell, she could have gone for. I tell you, people don't pick it up unless they're a strength hero, and even then they don't think about it. The halberd, man.
I fucking love Halberd. It's one of my favourite items in
Gyrocopter
the
is going
game.
to be murdered to death by Visage Birds. Possibly no, he manages to get out. Down comes the ultimate from Queen. Oh dear, the right clicks. The right clicks. Down goes the Alchemist. This has got to be GG. They can't defend without him. Although he's come
Alchemist
back.
is brought back though.
Rubik is dead.
Humanity.
And he comes with a stun. He's going to stun himself. And, oh,
Too far away there.
down goes to tier 3.
He could have actually stunned the Gyrocopter illusion from Darkseer there.
They're going to right click down Darkseer. He's going to go on to Visage. Got Visage. Needs to
No,
try to kill.
No, get out, Lifestealer.
Lifestealers. Oh, he's been bashed up.
this.
Oh, he's got an Aegis. He's going to be back. Rage TP.
I don't know, he might try and fight this.
He's
Oh,
got
he
rage.
picked up the jam as well. They didn't get his jam.
Rage tries to TP out. They can't do the damage. They stunned him. Oh, they brought him down. Really good. They need to push. They need to push really hard from this. But they need to defend the mid as well. They're going to send back Gyrocopter and Alchemist. No, they need to push. They need to push. They have no choice at this stage.
Indeed.
Gyrocopter, you have 4,000 gold. Spend it for the love of God. Buy some boots of travel.
All things considered, I think they may have stopped around in that fight just a tad too long there.
Yeah. Well, when you're fed and things are going your way, you have a tendency to go, you know what, I can take this. This is no problem.
Yeah. It was a very, very poor decision from the Lifestealer to stay in. I mean, their entire team was alive and surrounding you. I mean, you had to know in the back of your brain, it's like, you can't bash their entire team.
Well, he melted two heroes in like one right click. You'd have to think, like, you know, well, maybe I don't want to. Alchemist looking to sneak around behind them. He has to think, though. You know, Lifestealer's back in 30 seconds. Oh no, it's like Queen of... It's like
Not going to get a stun, he's going to be spotted out.
Uh-oh.
Things are not going to go his way right now.
Ulti, he needs his ulti. Oh, he's been, no, down goes Queen of Pain, no problem. Rubik with a great lift. He uses the scream on Visage to chasing his alchemist. He's taking a lot of damage in a minute. Shield's God comes out, he won't be able to chase. Throws the stun, doesn't matter, it's gone down. Queen of Pain brought back. She's back in the fight, but she's going to die again. No, she used the cheese. Brilliant. Keeping herself alive here. Oh, and the Weaver picking off some little tiny birds. Buyback from the Visage as well. Their whole team is back. They can't push off this anymore.
We see a scythe picked up on Darks here now.
Uh-oh, someone's gonna be a little picky.
Alchemist needs to be very, very careful right now. He's following the Ancients as well, so...
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, but there's an awfully large possibility that someone may have scouted him out by trying to come up behind.
But they didn't, so he was lucky.
What would you like to see the Lifestealer build into next, actually?
What's he got? Hell, Heaven's Halberd. Someone has to build it, for Christ's sake. It's so good against right-click heroes. If you get 5 seconds of Alchemist not being able to right-click at all, he's going to die before he can do anything. Speaking of dying, there goes Rubik.
It's also a fantastic pickup on the Lifestealer himself because it gives a sizable amount of damage, more strength, evasion, a main chance. So I would love to see the Lifestealer pick it up. Actually, it's a very wise choice.
Same for buyback at the minute though. So, oh, they've gone all in. They've gone all in. This is a good move. They don't have a lot of choice at this stage. But even with the Divine Rapier, he's only doing about 400 damage.
That flat cannon is really going to punish the Finns now.
Queen of Pain is going to disappear. Song of Sirens setting up. In comes the Gyro.
This Alchemist's been dying a lot. He's possibly the...
Stun comes out. Big cooldown. Gyro comes in, starts the right clicking. Oh, there's lots of melting going on, but Gyrocopter has been stunned up. He's been killed. There's the Rapier. Has anyone seen it? Lifestealer.
Lifestealer, get the Rapier. Get the Rapier. You can see it.
You've seen it now.
Oh
no! Uh-oh.
This is GG, and this is why a Rapier is such a risk.
When you're behind and you're down 2 racks, you don't have a lot of choice. It's not that bad a pickup. I did wonder what he was doing with all that gold, and now we know. He was saving it for a Rapier. But he died almost 15 seconds.
He had 1500 HP. And a BKB's dropped down to about 5-second charges. That is not the position you want to be in to pick up a Rapier.
No, but
I actually think it would make more sense on the Weaver.
It was a big play. It was a big play because they were behind and they had very little choice. So, you know, they worked with what they had.
If that Naga ultimate initiation would have worked well against the team, if that would have gone slightly better, I really think things could have gone their way.
I think if the Gyrocopter had stayed on the outside of the fight, firing in with...
Instead of going close to a Lifestealer.
Yeah, so he could use his rocket barrage, which, yeah, is useful, but this late in the game, it doesn't even scratch Lifestealer. He doesn't give a crap about being shot by rocket barrage.
Queen of Pain had a BKB up. There was a... what's that? Pipe popped by the...
Darkseer.
Darkseer. Oh my god, words are failing me at the moment. And Lifestealer was Rage, so...
It did nothing. It would have been better right-clicking from the hill.
Right-clicking was doing 1,000,000% more damage than the... Rocket Barrage was. Man, we should probably end this before I lose the ability to speak completely.
It'll be peaceful for your family at least. But yeah, looks like the Norwegians just couldn't stand up to the Finnish powerhouse.
Indeed.
First game they've ever played, apparently. I don't know. Maybe first time with this particular team, but they seem pretty versed in how to play this game, and they played it to a T. The Lifestealer got fat. He ate everything, and it was very, very tasty. So, yeah, that's all we've got for today. Thank you for watching.
Really enjoyable game.
Really good, enjoyable game. Really made up for the 20-minute game we watched yesterday. Nothing happened.
Quite a stomp.
So just, teabagged things, and that was about it. But yeah, a good, strong game, and obviously picking free carries, greedy as shit, and it's going to cost you if you ain't too careful.
Indeed.
Right.
Splitting the farm is never fun.
It's never fun. Cheerio.
Bye-bye.